Hey, what's up, everybody? Mogion Monster here, and welcome to Why the Fascination, or WTF as I like to call it. Hope everybody's doing awesome. I'm doing pretty good, pretty stoned. Yeah. Good to see everybody in chat already. What do we got here? My Eyes, how are you? Albo X, what's up, man? Long time no see. Welcome back. Gary Spikes, what's up, buddy? Mr. Lee, hi, Cindy. Hey, Sharon. Val, all the way from Southwest Pennsylvania. Good to see everybody. Who else we got here? Hey, Joe. Joe says his new computer is up and running. Right on. Sandra Piper, how are you? Who else? Doo-doo-doo. Hope everybody's doing good. I do. It's been an interesting week, past week. It was great, great, great. Did I say great? It was great to meet, Jay and Judy and Papa and Nana and Nikki and everybody and the husband and Kevin's friend Rob. Um, it was just we had a good time, despite a little delay on some people's you know Stevie and those guys getting stuck for a while. We all had a great time. We got back here Tuesday night. We did the show. Wednesday, we just kind of dicked around. We hung out and recuperated. Thursday, I took them, locally, and we crashed at my house. Like I said, we for like 4 days, 4 nights, they were there, just relaxing, and we did the local scene, Indian ruins, excuse me, Native American ruins, um, and the local sites. And then Friday, we ended up going to the Grand Canyon. Now that was special because, you know, Judy had never been to the Grand Canyon. It was a long time for Stevie. So it was exciting to see her reaction to the Grand Canyon, Judy's reaction. I've never heard somebody say, "Oh my God," and "Wow" so many times. um, but it was amazing to see this. I'm going to be playing a clip in a little bit. Uh, of their reaction. Jay and I blindfolded them and got them to the rim, to the railing, blindfolded, removed their blindfolds, and told them to open their eyes. And so I have that filmed, their reactions. Um, it was pretty cool. You'll see. It was very cool. Pretty cool doesn't cut it. Donald Fuller, what's up? Hey, Judy. There she is. Suzanne, how are you? Cheese Freak, what's going on? Who else? Life is a Trackway, what's up? Hey, Breeze, good to see you, man. He says, be right back. Okay, hopefully you heard me. Mr. Hand, how's it going, Rex? Sue Ashwell, good day. Eric, what's going on? Purple Habit. Hobbit. Habit. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. All right. So, yeah, if anybody's new here and you're watching for the first time, it's pretty simple. We are an oddball community of freaks and geeks and believers of the unknown, and we're an amazing group of people, and we just like to hang out and we talk about whatever, be it paranormal, Bigfoot, UFOs, whatever. Um, And what I do is I post the link in chat. So if you want to come on, you can just click on the link and come on and hang out and bullshit with me for a while. And, hopefully we get a bunch of people up here and we can have a decent conversation. And it's usually how it works. Usually works out pretty good. All you do is click on the link, follow the directions. It's pretty simple. All I ask is that you turn off YouTube and just have StreamYard playing. Also, if you don't want to be on camera, at the bottom of the screen, there is a button. It says stop camera. So you can click on the button and just not be here. So yeah. Chessboard, what's up? What do we got? We got 46 watching right now. Awesome. We've only been on 6 minutes. Not even. So let me post. The link is in chat. So I see Jeff. I I gotta watch live broadcasts more often and pay attention because they're funny. Excuse me. Mustache hair. Last night, Jeff had his show and he had a guest on, and of course she was a pretty woman. And everybody and his brother was just like trying to impress, including Jeff. It was funny. It was funny. What else? It's funny. I'm watching one show and I'm watching Nikki's show and she's showing pictures and Donald Fuller's down there. He's just chatting away. Oh, Mogs hides his belly well. Because screen's only that big. I mean, shit. No, I'm not. But that's where I carry all my weight. Is in my gut. I don't deny it. It was funny. Someone said I look like the savior at a retreat or some shit. I was probably Donald too. But yeah, we had a good time. Is Jay here? What's up, Jay? Good to see you. Hey, Brandy. Yeah, so I've had my nose in maps. That whole area that we camped out in and we drove through, and I'm trying to figure out exactly where those guys got kind of stuck. Just curious how far out it was. It's not, things don't add up, and not on Stevie and those guys' parts. What's up? What's up, Jeff?
Hey, how are you?
All right, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, right on. Let me turn up this mic, my speakers. Oh yeah, what the hell was I saying? Oh, I've been looking at maps, just trying to pinpoint, trying to figure out where those guys got turned around. And it was actually them turning around that got them stuck. Or actually the flat tire kind of had something to do with it too. But yeah, I told you guys they did experience something. I can't get into what they experienced. But if what they say they experienced is true, I'm not questioning it. It's a what if. Then I don't think anybody should go up there. So putting up maps is, I don't know. I just don't think. Even the cops said people don't go up there anymore. So there's got to be a reason for it, and maybe people don't need to be up there. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud without saying too much.
Well, tough. They definitely don't need to be up there if they aren't prepared to handle something like that. I mean, you wouldn't want to go up there with little kids not understanding what could happen, so to speak.
Yeah. You don't expect for your tire to come off the rim, and the I don't know how the cop did it, but he did it. He got the tire back on the rim. And get high sided, high centered, I should say, and get caught up on a mound. It and they both Jay and Stevie tried digging out for hours. They got under that car and did what they could with what they had. Donald says, "I'm not scared, Mogs. I will be locked and loaded." Well, I don't know if going in there with guns is the answer. They weren't in there with guns or weapons, and they made it out. It's just, I just want to figure out where the hell they got lost, like where it was, because coordinates don't line up. Judy's daughter sent me a coordinate that was like 30 miles away from where I think they were. It's like, how the hell did the tracking device or the tracking system that you're using show up over there when I think they were over here, weird shit.
Yeah, I would encourage them to take their time and not
absolutely
be in a hurry to come out and talk about it, because one thing's for certain, when they do, it's going to be a lot of people with questions, and they're not all going to be easy questions.
Oh, no.
And, and that's not, I would encourage them to really consider that when people are asking these hard questions, if they do decide to come out and talk about it, that's our nature. I mean, and I don't think that people should hear stories and not ask questions. I mean, it's natural to ask them, but just be prepared for the fact that when somebody asks a whole bunch of questions, if you're only able to say, "I don't know, I have no clue, this and that," you're probably better off not even coming out and talking about it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they're sitting on it. They're just gonna get their heads straight. Mm-hmm. Stevie's writing, she's trying to write everything down, what happened, how it happened, when it happened. I want to know where it happened. Because I'm that kind of stupid where I would go out there. Mm-hmm. But that's me. But and I wouldn't go alone. I'd bring a dog and maybe a friend. More than likely a friend, because I might as well be alone otherwise. And I'd like to go out and see where this was. There's characteristics, as she described, of landscape that I just can't find on Google Earth. And I get Google Earth isn't like exact, I'm looking for landmarks and shit, and I'm just not finding them where she said they drove. Just weird things that the gunfire that they heard before they were about to leave. Where everybody like kind of did that little duck, and the cop reached for his gun or put his hand on his gun, and then they got the hell out of there. Where the hell did that gunfire come from? Stevie said it was maybe 100 yards away. Mm-hmm. It's like what and it was automatic fire.
That's pretty close. Well,
Barb, like as Jeff just said, they have to digest everything. Okay,
I'm gonna share a scenario that hopefully I don't know anything. I don't know any details about this. I've heard what most people have heard, which is very little, but it's enough to make you curious, right?
Oh yeah, I'm curious.
Now I understand one of the things that they shared was how the law enforcement officer reacted, and what his demeanor was throughout this thing. And I'm going to use this for an example of how some people are going to react to this. And unfortunately, it doesn't feel fair to Jay and Stevie and Judy, because questions are going to be asked that they don't have answers to, and they aren't responsible to explain the why of. Meaning, in most cases, regardless of how stressful a situation is, how dangerous a situation is, most law enforcement officers have been in the business long enough that when something bad like this is going down, even if there's a creepy factor to it, even if there's a like wholly unknown what the hell's going on factor, law enforcement officers are typically trained to say, listen, guys, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to drive out of here. You're going to follow me 100 feet behind. I don't want you to fall back further than that. I'm going to have the whole roadway lit up in front of us. We're going to get out of here. This is not a race, but we are going to get out of here. His goal is to keep them calm enough to be able to extract themselves, right? He's trying to maintain
that's the way atmosphere. It should have been.
That's the way it should be. Now,
but
they
the way
have
it
an officer who may be
the way
young.
it was, listen, the way it was stay on my bumper, and they did, we'll get out of here, but stay on my bumper.
I get that. The point I'm trying to make is they may have had an officer who hasn't been in that situation before. Maybe he hasn't even been an officer a long time. But my point is, when an officer's saying, we got to get the hell out of here right now or something, typically your common Joe sitting on the sideline that's listening to this is thinking, well, that's not how an officer should react. They're not putting themselves in that place. And it's not up to Stevie and Jay and Judy to explain why that officer would react some way. They're not that officer.
Yeah, but the fact that
that's the questions people are going to come up with, saying, well, why would you explain? Well, how can you explain this? And the fact is you got to understand that you don't bear a burden to explain every detail that satisfies everybody who's going to listen to this. You can share your experience. The burden's not on you to prove anything or to make them believe you or not believe. If they don't believe you, fuck them and let them go.
Indeed.
Hello.
Hi,
hey, Stevie.
Your ears ringing?
Yeah, just a little bit, huh? No, I know everybody wants to know what happened, and stuff happened that we're still trying to wrap our heads around. And if people can't respect that, then I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I'm not sorry. Nobody would even know anything happened if we weren't supposed to meet everybody at the campsite. If we weren't missing, or if you want to say for that short period of time, no one would even know this would be another experience that somebody had, and we're not obligated to have to talk about it.
No, you're not. And I agree 100%. People like are gonna want to know.
Oh, I know, and maybe we'll talk about it. But right now, we're really just trying to wrap our head around some things that happened that we're not even sure.
I think with where it's at right now, and where you guys have left it right now, the best thing to do is move on and not talk about it. And everybody needs to just
let it go for a while.
Respect the fact that when they're ready, they'll talk about it. That's for them to decide when. The worst thing we can do is spend an hour here talking about how you're not ready to talk about it, because that doesn't help anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I figured I'd come on and just say that because I know people want to know. And there's, for the most part, the community's been really supportive of, it's just given us time to deal with what we experienced, things we saw and what happened with us. I mean, in a nutshell, Mogs has said what happened, leaving some parts out that we're still just trying to wrap our heads around. Once we figure things out, once we can explain things, then maybe we will. But
you might not be able to explain it, but
no, and if Judy and Jay don't want to talk about it, then it's We
But you guys
experienced
can
something
understand
together.
is they've had their own experiences separately. You know, they weren't
We weren't together
together
the whole
the whole
time.
time.
There was a point in time where the three of us were separated individually for, I mean, at least an hour or so. I mean, it could be longer, but yeah, there was a time that we weren't together. So we each individually have our own story, in a sense, what we experienced during that time. That I can't speak for Judy or Jay, and I would never dare try. So, yeah.
So how was the food? I mean,
It was great. I mean, it was great. Definitely. Russell cooked, well, folks, Russell, whichever, but he cooked the whole time. And yeah, I know he cooked the whole time. And, you know, I said all along after we made it to the camp, you know, he basically took care of us, especially after going back to his house. It was good to have a place to just kind of rest and relax. And the three of us had a chance to talk to each other. And then we had a chance to talk to each other individually. And, you know, it was kind of, we had our space after, you know. So it was good. It was very good. Food was great though.
I'm just reading
I
chat.
know I am too.
Suzanne says, if any of you feel like talking privately about it in a therapeutic way, feel free to contact me or charge even if you'd liked hypnosis about it. Free of charge, even if you'd like hypnosis about it. So yeah, if you're anybody, you know, Jay, Judy, you know, you guys are dealing with anything and it's a little hard on you, she'll hook you up.
Well, I need to talk to Susie because, you know, I thanked her before, but seriously, as soon as we came down off the mountain, as soon as we got a signal, her call came through and I fumbled with my phone. I couldn't answer it right immediately, but she did answer right away and she was our lifeline, you know, definitely.
it would have been funnier if Susie would have said in that post, contact me, I'll give you half off hypnosis. 50% off for
So,
my
yeah,
friends in trauma.
I'm reading chat and I am writing it down because, you know, we were up there for 12 hours easily and so much happened. So we did so much. It kind of comes back in jumbles and bits and pieces. And what we talked about, it was such a, I'm trying to find the right words. It's just, you know, you think back to certain things and it jumps around and I just want to put everything in the order that it happened in. So writing it down is definitely helping.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting your ducks in a row. And I would encourage Judy and Jay to do the same thing.
To do the same, yeah. That would be that would be cool. I'd be interested in seeing their version of, you know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know, this way you have three individual stories or three different points of view, you know.
Three separately deposed accounts that you
absolutely. And I tried to separate when I was talking. When we were at the house, I tried to get a conversation with everybody. You know, not as thoroughly as I wanted to, but just to get a feel of what they saw. What did you see? What did you see? But they were all, you know, we talked together, but we also talked apart, you know. But I think they should write it down and document it and compare notes, you know. But overall, you know, once I got to them, see, I thought they were going to a motel, but because Nikki said I had just gone to bed and Nikki said I got a message and they're okay. They're at a hotel and they had some sort of ordeal or, you know, something happened. The next morning, I got a message. She's like, it said, send Mogs, need help with tire in Walmart parking lot. Well, I didn't know that they were in the Walmart parking lot. They never got a hotel room or a motel room, and they spent the night in the Walmart parking lot. So if I had gotten that message earlier, I would have been there at 3 a.m. You know, instead I was there 8, 7, 8, something like that.
7:30, I think, when you got there, around 7:30.
because I felt bad when I found out they spent the night in the Walmart parking lot. I was like, oh fuck.
Sorry, I was laughing about what Judy just wrote.
The communication breakdown sounds like.
Judy, get in the car.
I so there was the part where it was starting to storm, and I'm trying to get Judy in the car, and I'm like, Judy, get in the car, and she's trying to figure out what to do with the chair that she was sitting on, and I'm like, fuck the chair, get your ass in the car, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I felt so terrible talking to her like that. I was just like, I'm sorry.
And Judy, I am so thrilled that you joined us, and we could make that possible. You know, that,
Oh God, yes, that.
you know, this it's weird. We kind of individually decided on our own, and then kind of as a group to make this trip as special for Judy as we could. You know, and Stevie will agree to it,
Yep.
and you know, I know Jay will agree to it, and I think it was a success, and
Yes, I think
know,
so too. I was more thrilled watching her have such a great time, especially at the Grand Canyon. I mean, just everything. It was, oh my God. Shooey.
Shoo-wee.
Oh, I love Judy Wheeler. I swear I do.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She says,
Yeah, I
thank you
would
all
think
very
that
much.
Muggs and Nikki, when you're getting text messages that say, you know, we're having an emergency or whatever, that you just assume that Jay got himself in some sort of trouble. And
Yeah, I didn't get any messages until we got out to the rim. I mean,
Well, that was the weird thing because, you know, you and I were messaging, and you were. The last thing I said was send me the directions, you know, the coordinates or whatever to the campground, so I'd have them and we'd go right there. And from that moment on, you and I had not gotten another message across to each other at all. I mean, my phone shut down half the day that we were stuck up there. I couldn't even power it on. And it wasn't the lack of, you know, having access to charge it. It was charged. I had 58% and it just shut off, and that was it. But I had problems with my phone the leading Thursday and Friday leading up to that. So that was kind of weird, but I didn't have any.
I hope this is the right clip. This is actually.
All right. We're almost at the.
Yep, that's it.
The rim. At the canyon rim.
I'm going to sound a little pushy in a minute. I wasn't trying to be, but you'll see.
Here. Put it on.
Sound like put it on.
No peeking.
I can't see.
No peeking. Pull it down. Put it. I don't care if it's covering her mouth.
Oh man.
Grab her arm. I got your arm. And just trust him.
Okay.
Take your time. I got
Yeah.
you. Here, hold my hands to that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right. Just trust me. Just walk normal. Just don't kick Jay. We're past Jay.
How can I
so.
see if I kick him? It'll be an accident for sure.
Okay. This is the first.
Just trust me. Trust Jay.
Okay.
Well, they're walking blindfolded, you know, towards the cliff. So
you should
gotta
have stopped him
sort of
early.
trust.
You should have stopped him early and tell him we're on the rim, and then push him from behind, even though you're not.
No.
Need to get with the heart attack.
I wasn't in the mood for doing CPR.
Right.
Stop. Hand out. Grab the other one. Stay there.
I'm not spoiling this. I would never.
I'm
He
like,
kept telling me, don't look. I'm like, I'm not.
these two like hold up, and I'm like, come on, let's go.
On the rail. Ready.
I sound like a dick here.
Come on. What the hell?
Get your ass
Keep
over
your
here.
head down. We'll get you to the rail. Keep your head
I'm
down.
scared. All of a sudden, I feel a void over here.
Put your hand out. Stop. Put your hand out. Get to the rail.
Got it.
Keep your
Let me
eyes
have the
closed,
stick.
okay? I gotta view this. I gotta film
I
this.
got this. I got it. I got the stick. Put your hand, both hands on the
I don't know how else to film
Oh
this.
my God.
Hold that. Keep your eyes closed. Take the blindfolds off. Keep your eyes closed.
Keep them closed now.
I just ripped it off her
I'm
head.
taking your glasses, everything off.
I still have my eyes closed.
3, 2, 1. Open your eyes.
No way.
No
She's gonna
way.
cry.
No way.
Look, I couldn't breathe. I
Oh
was
my
just
God.
not. Just, my God.
I'm sorry. I
Dude, it's speechless.
This is what they're opening your eyes to, everybody.
Look at that. I mean, just look at
Oh
that.
my God. The Grand Canyon.
This goes on.
Fucking breathtaking.
It's not a hole in the ground.
Holy
Get your phone out. Let's start taking some pictures now.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go out there.
She's got your phone.
Okay. Well, okay.
There, on that ledge.
Look how beautiful.
Told you it's breathtaking, isn't it? Isn't it the most awesome thing you ever seen in your life?
It is absolutely incredible.
Just glasses. My headband. It's on the ground. Thank you.
Grand Canyon. It's the Grand
Right.
Isn't that cool?
I wonder how many cell phones are at the bottom of it
A lot, I'm sure.
that people drop as they're standing at that.
There were a couple ledges that we'd walked around to, and
Oh, and when
you
the
could just
sun's on
see
it and it
stuff down there,
just-
electronics and
sometimes you won't
face
see it because
masks
there'll be
and
clouds in it.
Yeah, I could. Oh my God. So this is perfect view, isn't it?
Mhm.
It looks
Well,
good.
there's different views all along. You know, you'll get on the other side. This is
Yeah.
escarpment, and you'll see another view.
God,
Look how far back
look
that goes.
I can't.
Look how far back.
she said, "I can't."
Just keeps going.
And
Shoo-wee.
that's how you do it. You show people the Grand Canyon. You make them open their eyes to it.
It's intense. Just
All right. Enough of that.
Yeah, that was cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it was. That's how I show people the Grand Canyon. You know, it's just when you open your eyes to that, your mind can't comprehend right away, and you're like, your body reacts. You know, you lose your breath, or you cry, or you know, it's crazy. Mr. Hugh, how's it going? Mike Kirkpatrick, good to see you.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool that I got to do that with you and share that with Judy, you know, and Jay. I mean, that was very cool. Very cool.
It was fun because then you got to see, like, when we went to Montezuma's castle. You know, you guys didn't know what to expect there, and you're like, oh shit.
You know, I went to look for those pictures today to show my roommate, and they're gone too.
Let me
They're gone.
let me see what I got.
I mean, I took a lot of pictures. The castle, they're gone. I don't have any of them. I sat there and recorded the little.
Sorry. No, keep talking.
I recorded the little, that little presentation thing on the kiosk. I recorded that whole thing, and that video's gone.
I have that twice.
You have it twice.
Yeah, but I downloaded stuff off your phone, but not from. I don't think from that.
No, we never picked those. Just the ones from up there.
Let me see. I gotta find these. All right. Now I have it 3 times. That's weird.
Really?
That little, that little kiosk.
Yeah, I don't have it at all. I don't even
No,
have pictures.
now I have it 3 times. That's
That's
weird.
really weird.
I don't know what I'm clicking on because I can't see it. So let's see. I'm hoping.
Starting to rain.
No, this was after. So I got to find before. Sorry. Because I know I recorded when we walked up on it.
Yeah, and I know I took pictures a lot there. I don't know.
Let's see what this is. This could be something totally different. Yeah, this is not it.
And we
That
just
was
got
from
out
when
of
I,
the emergency alert.
When you walk down during the storm.
yeah. All right. I don't know. I just got to clear these out of backstage. Try again. So yeah, that was their reaction to the Grand Canyon. That was, the look on Judy's face, and Stevie was just breathless. She was like
takes a lot to shut me up, and I was speechless.
this
Shut
is
up.
true.
Shut up.
A lot of friendly squirrels there too.
I do have a video of Judy when she walked across the walkway and that squirrel, she was trying to get a piece of plastic away from a squirrel. The squirrel was kind of biting on it. And when she walked over, it left the piece of plastic, walked over and just into her hand. She put her hand down and it walked right up to the tip and she was able to touch it. I got a little video of that. That was pretty cool.
And every year some asshole kicks a squirrel off the edge.
I can't believe that.
Yep. And they usually film it too, and they actually
Somebody ought to kick the asshole off with it.
That's what I said when we were there. I was like, okay, now go get it.
Yep.
Who else in my Isaac? What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
I know, right?
Been a while.
Coming next door.
Hey, Nikki. Hey, Mopar. We got like almost 80 watching. That's awesome.
That's cool.
Let me, I don't know if anybody else has been doing it, but let me post the link in chat. So if anybody wants to come on, join us, click on that link.
Yeah, Donald Fuller, the condor was cool.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even see it at first. And then I finally got to see it. And there was two ladies, French ladies. We were trying to show them because one of the ladies had a really fancy camera. So we figured, and trying to communicate after she took the pictures and all, I was trying to tell her it was a condor, just in English. And I wouldn't even begin to say it in French, but.
Well, she said it's similar. She was like, condor?
Yeah, but she rolled the R and that the way she pronounced the C, that was pretty cool.
Patrick says, I don't pet things that can crack hickory nuts with its teeth. I knew a girl who could do that, so.
We used to have a squirrel catapult by our bird feeder, which, it didn't kill a squirrel. It wasn't inhumane,
Taught him how to fly.
Well, I built it out. This is when I was younger and bored. I built it out of like surgical tubing and a giant funnel that pulled back and locked. And you'd put a little bird seed in it, and it was aimed out at the lake. So it would crawl in there. And from inside the window, you could pull the release, and it would fire him about probably 50 yards through the air, and he'd land in the lake and swim to the shore. 10 minutes later, he's back up on the bird feeder again, like it's some kind of game,
So, wow, wouldn't you? You got thrown that far, survived, and fuck, I'm doing it again.
If you could build a giant version that did it with humans, you'd probably have them lined up to pay you $20 a shot to launch them.
Right.
In
there. Those squirrels were weird.
Jay, how are you, buddy?
Jay's tired.
You look tired, Jay.
A little bit.
Stevie, I want to apologize to you for yesterday.
Stop. No
You
need.
know what I'm talking about.
I know. There's no need. I was all good. It was all good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're all right.
Okay.
You know I love you.
I know.
No worries.
I walked in the house, guys, and
Naked?
no, not naked. And it's like I hit a wall, and I went and laid on my bed. What was that? About 1:30.
Let's put it this way. I never saw him again after that.
I went and laid on my bed, and I didn't wake up till 6 o'clock this morning. I was just like I just passed out. I was so tired.
Well, I was just happy that everybody got home safely.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
And poor Stevie had trouble with her car on the way back to your house, did you, huh?
Of course. Nothing's ever easy, but
I know.
no, I thought about it earlier today. Everything happens for a reason. That made me park, and I slept for about 2 hours in the public parking lot because, I was so tired I felt drunk almost, and I don't drink, so I needed a rest.
Yeah.
And then I hit 2 massive storm systems coming home by 4 and pulled over again twice. So I didn't get home until 10 o'clock last night. Well, that's when I pulled in the driveway.
Ooh, you had thunder?
Yeah, it just left here.
Yeah.
We got a storm rolling in.
That's
up here
Jay's
too.
stomach.
After all that good food you fed me, brother.
Right?
That man can cook, guys, let me tell you.
Yeah, we ate.
Good.
He kept calling me a cowboy cook because I dropped I put the skillet. I did a fire and then put the skillet right in there and fried up some pork chops and potatoes.
Oh man,
you just dropped the skillet in the middle of the fire and that was
best pork chops I ever ate in my life.
Pork chops, burgers.
Yeah.
Breakfast scramble, chicken. Oh, I forgot. How did I forget the chicken?
Yeah. Let me tell you, folks. If you've never been down there, you need to go. It's awesome. It's just awesome.
Jay kept saying, "I can move here in a heartbeat."
In a heartbeat, I could move there in a heartbeat. It's one of the most beautiful. I'm talking about around Russell's place. It's just out on his deck. It's just breathtaking. Just where you walk out on his deck, and you look to the right, and you got what they call the Black Mountains.
Well, behind behind Black Hills.
Actually, out your front door, really, right?
Mingus Mountain, yeah, correct.
Yeah, Black
then
Mountain.
Behind is that you got a whole valley. You can see 10 miles across it,
and then you got another set of mountains. And then if you look to the left, you got Sedona with the red rock. Oh, it's just breathtaking.
Well, Mo, you didn't know. I don't think I told you, but when we left your house, we were heading to Sedona to go on our way home. I rode through the valley down. I went around the block and drove through, and they didn't realize it at first. I was like, "Look, guys, this is behind Moog's house," and they're like, "Oh my God!"
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
yeah. We saw the wash where.
Yeah. It's all decorated and
yeah.
Ruby Ridge, how's it going, buddy?
I figured that'd be like one last cool thing that we hadn't seen yet. We've been staring at it for 4 days, so
I tried to show you the local stuff. I think there's some pretty cool stuff here right in the area that
it's just so much. And we went to fill up the gas tank, and the girl that was there, she just so happened to have been from Miami, and she was talking about 5 years she's been there, and she wakes up every morning. It's like a Disney backdrop. She can't believe that there's just so much to look at and so much beauty. And I couldn't get over how vast the sky is compared to here in Florida. It just seems weird. It doesn't seem right.
Everything seems bigger. It's because you're back east. You're underneath trees all the time. You look out the back. There's no trees out here. There's scrub. You'll get trees in certain areas, but it doesn't clog up the sky.
It's sky forever out there. you can never get tired of looking around. There's just always something different. I went out in the middle of the night, probably between anywhere from midnight to 3 each night. Everybody's asleep. I go out on the back deck and I see the stars in different areas. It's amazing to me how it's all the same sky, yes, but there's just so much to see.
Well, when you don't have the light pollution, you tend to see a lot more of it. And at that time of night, the
everything's quiet.
The Milky Way is just a little over to the west, and you see it go right over the house, and it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I want to say something about Stevie and Judy. They never shut the fuck up.
I know Judy's dying right now.
God, them women. I felt like I was in a hen house.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
That was funny. I could only imagine what was about to come out of his mouth, but
oh no, I was waiting.
Me too.
I'm a little confused that, considering how old Jay is, what led him to believe in his life experience that they would shut the fuck up. I mean, you're on a road trip with two women. I mean, what did you
threw him in the back seat, and Judy kept me awake the whole time I was driving. I drove 12 hours and didn't feel tired. We had such
and they also kept me awake the whole time.
You were snoring. I told you. I heard you snoring.
He made a little go hiking. What's up?
Made a little spot in the back seat. He had his pillow and his blankie, and he covered his head, and he was knocked out.
I had my whoopee with
his
me.
Whoopee, that's what he called it. His whoopee. Where's my whoopee? That's how he kept saying, where's my whoopee?
Bobby Younce, how are you? Great to see you. Anita, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going good for you.
I want to address something about this getting lost, okay? We drove up the right road to begin with. And we all made a decision. We went so far. And on the way up there was another sign that said Noah Lake, okay? So we were driving up that road. We went a long way. And we all made the decision, oh, wait a minute, we passed a sign back there that said Noah Lake. So we didn't want to keep driving thinking that maybe we had passed where we should have turned, okay? So we drove back down there, went on that sign, and it said Noah Lake and a goddamn arrow pointing that way.
Noah Lake, 12 miles.
12 miles, exactly what it said. So we went down that road, and some Rangers passed us. I call Stevie Nicky all the time.
He has the whole trip. He called me Nicky.
And I told Stevie, I said, Stevie, hold your hand out, try to flag them down. So she did. Of course, the Rangers, they just went on past us. We kept driving 2 or 3 more miles. There was a couple that came by on an ATV. So we flagged them down. They stopped. And Stevie asked them, are we on the road to Noah Lake? And they said, you're just a little bit ahead. So we thinking we're on the right road now, see? So we keep driving, and we drove, run by the power line, stopped, and when we was talking to how pretty it was, calling it Sasquatch Highway. So we just kept driving on the rocks. And then all of a sudden, the rocks turned into a dirt path, okay?
This is after you crossed over the power lines?
Power lines.
There was a cattle gate first.
We probably drove what, 3 or 4 miles past the power lines? It was a long way.
Yeah, because when I stopped the van that was coming after the last Ranger had passed, and the couple stopped, they were nice. They,
and they
asked them how far to the lake. They said, he said 9, she said 8, or vice versa.
Right.
And then he said, just straight, keep going straight. So we had the confirmation that we were on the right track. I drove through, kept driving. The more I drove, the narrower it got. It just
turned into dirt.
It turned into almost like a
2-track.
Yeah, it was.
And the woods are narrowing in, get closer. actually touching the car, the truck.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. And we ran out of track. There was no tire tracks, and that's when we decided
What
we were.
stopped me? Let me correct you there. What stopped me was there was a mud hole
I was
down at
getting to
the.
that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overspeak.
We got onto the dirt road, and it V'd, one to the right and one to the left.
Yeah.
And the one to the right had a real deep mud hole. And Stevie said Moggs would never go through there, and I agreed. I said you would never took
The pop up.
the pop up through there. It was really wide. It covered the whole road. So we
Couldn't
went
see
to
the end of it. You couldn't see the farthest end of it. It was
right. That's how
mud.
deep and long it was. So we turned to the left, and when we turned down to the left, it actually opened up a little bit, and we started to turn around. But there was a big stump.
Two stumps.
Yeah, there was one on the left, and we couldn't get between them. Well, down a little farther was another little turnaround, and we started onto that, and that's when the tire blew out. And the tire, when it went completely flat and popped that seal on that thing, it actually jerked.
It jerked to the left.
To the left, and it jerked us right on that dirt mound. And when it dropped, everything underneath that, just because we're still
the weight
got
of
that
it.
forward momentum moving, and it just drove us right into that dirt mound. That's how we got stuck. And we dug and we dug and we dug. We posted. I walked up to the road a little bit where it turned from the rock to the dirt. I mean, from to the right to the left. And I told Judy, took a chair up there. I said, sit down here. Maybe somebody will come along. And I walked back down, and we dug for what, Stevie, 2 or 3 hours. We just got it. We got exhausted.
Now, when he's saying that we dug, mind you, we weren't prepared to get stuck in a hole. I mean, on a mound. I mean, and here I brought my metal detector, so I have a backpack with tools for metal detecting, which is nothing more than garden hand tools. I have a little garden shovel. It's not. It's plastic, and that's what we started using was that. And then I'm digging through my camel bag, and it's bringing out the fold out saw, and I'm using the fold out. The ground is so hard and so rocky.
It's like
that
concrete.
mound. It is. I was literally chiseling away. I'm on my left side, laying half on the mound on the part that I just dug out. We both dug out to barely enough to get to where we could see underneath the truck. And I'm just with my right arm, just chiseling away. I'm using, this plastic kitty litter scoop thing that I use for the sand when I'm metal detecting to clear out all the dirt that I just chiseled away. I'm pulling rocks out that are like this big, that I just dug out. And it just seemed like the more we did, the more we still had to do. We just couldn't get it all. We switched sides. He was on the driver's side. I was on the out. When I say the outside, I was on the passenger side, which was facing out that little open area. And it just, we worked at it for hours until finally Jay said he was going to go check on Judy. And I figured good because he needed a break. Hell, I needed a break.
Judy says I was walking up the road looking for anyone for help.
Yep.
And
we did stumble. These guys,
right when we got there, right when
we got out, and we kind of at first, I was trying to like throw it in reverse and trying to kick it off of that mound to see if we could just get it out of there. That was when we first got there. When we realized that we were just too dug in to the mound, I had gotten out. When I say getting out, I had to climb out. I had to, well, first, you couldn't open the door all the way. So we were having to clear the dirt from the door just to open the driver's door. Then when I get out, it's not stepping out on ground. It's stepping on the hillside of the mound. So I've got one left foot and the other foot is on the inside of the door of the truck. And I'm hoisting myself using the door to hold on to get over to the top of the mound just so I can get down to the ground. So it was digging out that part of the mound just to be able to get under there to try to clear it. When we first got to the point where I was able to get out,
I'm gonna
And we're
address
looking,
that.
I'm looking at the flat. I'm looking, Jay and I are trying to figure out how we're going to get ourselves out of there. Judy's walking back a little ways. She walked back towards in the direction that we just came from. And because I'm hearing what sounded like a car or maybe a side by side. And sure enough, here comes a side by side and an ATV. The guys look like they were the late teens, early 20s. They're out there just, probably from the last campsite that we saw way back before we got that far back. And we're all, trying to flag them down. Hey, they looked at us like we were a bunch of, stranger danger, and they just said nope and took off. And that literally was the last human life we saw for 12 hours. Nobody, not another sound of a car, another sound of people, nothing. Not another sound.
We had pushed OnStar just to see if it was working.
Yeah.
But what we were going to use that at the last resort. We was trying our best to dig ourselves. All we wanted to do was try to back off of it so we could go up to the main dirt part, okay, where we made our turn.
I had walked around.
I knew if we drove on that tire too long, it would totally run it, okay.
Well,
and we had a little balloon tire, but we couldn't jack it up because it was tilted like that. There's no way I could have got a jack underneath there, And I'm going to address how he got it back on. The cop had a tool, handmade, he'd made himself, because evidently he had done this before. He took that, when he started putting air in it, it wasn't taking air. And it had a hook on it, like you do when you're putting them on, you got a tire shop. And he would take that thing and he would run that thing around and he'd pull real hard. And he'd run it around and he'd pull real hard. And he'd reach behind as he'd pull, and he'd take his hand and he got it on the back side. And then he pulled it real tight, the front part of the tire to him, and he started taking air. That's how he got it on the rim, back on the rim. It was a handmade tool he had. So evidently he had done it before. Well, he had that handmade tool.
Well, until the sheriff came, while it was still daylight, I mean, Jay and I brought a carpet that we had used for the pop-up, and we literally took a knife to that. Jay's holding it, I'm cutting it. We're trying to get something to wedge under the wheels just to get a grip. I walked around, picked up planks. I mean, the perfect size planks too. It was like perfect to set under the wheel to get under there to try to get a grip to pull us off. But we were so dug into the undercarriage. The undercarriage of the truck was so dug into the mound, the wheels, no matter what traction we got, was just spinning.
And the front wheels had started digging a hole. So I tried, the old trick where you try to square a hole. Once you start digging, you go hard left and you try to get an edge. It's called squaring the hole is what it's called. We tried that trick. I tried that trick of squaring that hole up, just hoping it would catch an edge to pull us off of it.
I tried like revving it up and throwing it into drive and then popping it in reverse, seeing if I was standing
on the front bumper. I stood on the back bumper trying to add weight. We tried every friggin' thing with it. We tore a blanket of mat up. The carpet. Carpet had a rubber on it, hoping that it would grab that rubber. We tried everything we could. It just wasn't no getting off of it,
Mm-hmm.
And
that was my question: is how did I think I asked you guys. That was one of the first questions. How the hell did the cop get the tire back on the rim?
Yeah,
my thought was lighter fluid, starter.
No,
fluid.
he had a tire.
That's cool. No, I've done many tires, so
you know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
So while they were doing the tire, I was inside talking to OnStar, and they had called the roadside assistance, and we were under the impression hours before that they had ordered a tow truck to come out. And I had questioned that in the beginning because of where we were and how far we were out. We were so off-road, was somebody really going to come? And they assured us then when it was originally ordered, yeah, somebody's coming. We just don't know how long it'll take them to get out there. Well, now, 2-3 hours go by and the sheriff shows up and there's still no tow. And the sheriff actually asked, what if I can't fix this wheel, if I can't get this tire fixed enough to for y'all to drive off, what do you want me to do? I can drive you to a hotel, take you off the mountain, drive you to a hotel, and then we can deal with it tomorrow. Or he said there was 2 tow companies that he knew of that would come up and tow the truck off the mountain, but he didn't know if he couldn't guarantee it would be that night. So we were sitting there while they were trying to fix it. I was with OnStar. OnStar, this guy was a godsend. I mean, he
Never
was
left.
absolutely a godsend. He literally stayed with us for about 4.5, 5 hours. And I mean, for him to stay on the line that whole time, I remember at one point, he had asked if we required him to stay on the line with us because his boss was questioning whether or not, to stay that long. And we, all 3 of us at the same time, were like, yes, you got it. You don't leave us, don't hang up. Please don't hang up, because he was our lifeline to getting off that mountain.
And he got so mad.
He stayed and he became a friend. I mean, I was thinking that we had to try to kind of occupy our time to not think of what was outside the windows after dark. I mean, not that anything was going on at the moment, but you still, no matter what, anybody would think that if you're stuck on a mountain in the wilderness and it's pitch black outside the windows of your car, you're going to be a little nerved, So here Jay brought out the food that we had. We had plenty of food and water and drinks. So we had a little picnic sitting there in the car. And then I remember downloading stuff on my phone in case I didn't have internet. And I'm thumbing through, trying to find something to put, just set up on the dash, and all 3 of us can watch. And I'm looking through, and it's stuff about aliens and Bigfoot and scary movies. And I'm like, oh God, no. So then I found one episode of Seinfeld, and I put that on, and I set it up on the dash, and we started watching it. And, you kind of forget that the OnStar guy is still there listening on. And then you hear him laugh at something funny on the show. It was like he was actually with us. There in the truck with us the whole time. And that was above and beyond and just amazing,
Yeah, he was an amazing guy, really guy.
But he really took it personal, because when it came to them, I guess that's the realization that there is no tow coming for whatever reason. He was on them big time. He was getting pissed. He's like, what do you mean there's no one coming? What do you mean you don't have an order for a tow? I mean, he was drilling them. I mean, at halftime, I didn't have to say anything because he pretty much took care of that part of it. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, he got really upset when he found out there was nobody coming to get us.
Because they didn't let us know that AAA doesn't go off-road, no matter what. They won't go. Any AAA will not go off-road. He didn't know that. He's in Canada. See, that's funny. Life is a trackway. There is kind of a story of that. We were sitting there, after everybody finished eating and it got quiet, there was that uneasiness starting to kind of flow back into the car again. And all of a sudden, the OnStar guy says, all he had to say was, have you ever heard of the movie? And I said, don't you fucking say it. And we both started laughing. And Judy and Jay are like, what? And I knew exactly what he was getting ready to say. I said, don't you dare. And he starts cracking up. We're both laughing. And I'm like, I am so serious. Don't you dare say it. And Judy and Jay were like, what? I said, the wrong turn. And OnStar guy laughed. He said, yep, you knew what I was going to say. I'm like, thanks, because there was a sense of humor of what was going on. But yeah, I died laughing. I'm like, don't you say it. Don't you dare say it. It was the wrong turn. Not a great time to bring that movie up, for sure.
No.
I think one thing that amplifies the uneasiness of the whole situation is that you were lost when it happened. If you think about, it's not being on a mountain in the middle of the night. If it's a mountain I've been on before and I'm familiar with the area, I might be fine being stranded out there. I mean, not fine, but comfortable, right? Not in panic mode.
No.
But when you're lost and then you have an accident like that, and then it's dark, you start asking yourself, even if the truck was fixed and you weren't stuck, you still don't know exactly where the hell you're going to.
That's the thing. I know what you're saying, but at that point when the tire blew, it was confusing, and there were some questions as to where we were exactly. But we all knew how to get back out of there. we knew the direction we
Yeah.
came in. So yes, we weren't lost per se. It was that we couldn't find everybody, Mose, Nikki, Papa, the whole camp. We couldn't find the whole lake, honestly. So we weren't, what you say, lost until when the tire did blow. Then it became a question of where exactly are we because of the GPS coordinates that the OnStar was picking up to order, to call all these organizations. 3 different organizations have 3 different coordinates. And it's like, what the hell? How did they get it? It was almost like, how do we get up to where we were? That was the question. And there was a reluctance to say exactly where we were, even with the sheriff. So that's kind of something that we're trying to figure out by looking at maps and see where we are. There's no answers there yet. Not at all.
Well, it's
Yeah, 'cause
good.
like I
It's
said,
good you got out, and good that you got back to town and got it fixed. But well,
yeah, well, when I got to Walmart, I just went in and got fix a flat and a plug kit, and plugged the tire. I pulled out what I thought was a screw, was an Allen wrench, plugged it, filled it, and then got to the gas station and put the proper air pressure. It's been good ever since. I mean, I'm assuming it's still good at the rental
Yeah,
agency.
we made it to Arkansas, and then we made it back to Florida from there with no change in the tire pressure. So
makes
Yeah,
you
matter of
wonder what
fact-
the hell an Allen wrench was doing out there in the middle of nowhere.
Well, there's a lot of ATVs out there, man, but this was a small one.
it was tiny. Yeah, it was tiny, and it had a filed
Is there
end
hunting in the
to
area?
one in the corner.
What's
in the
that?
Fall, in the fall, do they hunt that area?
According to the sheriff, he said
Yeah.
no one goes up there anymore. I mean,
No
I don't
one.
know.
Oh,
I don't know
I-
if that means just camping or, but we didn't see any tire tracks. We didn't see any signs of anybody being up there for a long time. Matter of fact, I was concerned when it started storming or looked like a storm was coming in because the road that we landed on, I'm looking behind us and I'm looking way in front and it curves around to the right and it looked like a wash. And I'm like, oh God, where's that wash go if it starts storming? Are we going to get washed away in the truck? And then
I asked the policeman, I said, what if we went on down to the right? He said, yeah, there's a campground down there, but he said nobody ever camps down there no more. He said nobody comes up here in this area.
we were so convinced that we were near the lake because of what that couple told us and how far the distance that we had gone after he spoke to them, that Jay and I had talked about, and Judy had talked about, if we have to stay here tonight, we'll crash out. We already made our arrangements of how we were going to get comfortable. And I'm sorry, but I said, if anybody's got to pee, you better grab a bottle because nobody's getting out of this car, until daylight. But then we would pack a bag and walk to the lake, what we thought was the direction of the lake, and see if we could find those guys from there. But good thing that didn't happen because we weren't.
I really got mad. I shouldn't have. I really got mad at that couple for telling us, yeah, Noah Lake's 7 or 8 miles ahead. So that led us to think we're going the right direction. I got mad because if you know that's not the lake, you don't tell people.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I got really upset.
In one of these crazy, freaky movies, Stevie, that couple is the pivotal character. They tell you that the lake's right up the road, and then later in the evening, they come and terrorize you and frickin'.
No, they were an older couple.
I know. No. I'm saying that's how the movie would play.
Oh, yeah.
So Brent says phone apps like Google Maps will always track you, even without a cell signal. Nope. You can find it in your timeline option of the Google Maps app.
I looked. I know exactly what he's talking about because 5 years ago when I took a trip to California, it mapped the whole way, and I didn't see it until like 2-3 years ago. I looked, Google Maps, nothing. And on that being said, the whole time we were out there, when you lose a signal, you just lose bars, and you kind of search for bars. Well, it wasn't that I lost a bar, or I didn't have bars. Judy and my phone both, I can't speak for Jay, but both our phones in red letters across
No
said
service.
no connection. It just said no connection.
Mine was deader than a doornail.
Deader than
Okay.
Elvis.
So it was the first time that I've ever been in a situation where it actually said no connection instead of just, weak bars or no signal, or it said no connection.
The road we was on said on OnStar it said
Unknown name.
unknown name. What it
Road.
said.
Unknown road or unnamed road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unknown name. Was it unnamed?
It looked more like a
Road.
wash. It looked more like a wash than it did a road. I'll put
That's
it
what
that
I'm
way.
saying. I stepped back while I was looking for some type of log or boards or something. I was walking around the whole area, and I stepped back, and I just happened to see the ripples from like a wash, and I said, "Oh shit," because I'm hearing the storm coming from way off in the distance, and kind of hoping and praying that it's not coming our way. But
When
yeah.
he pulled us off the mound, I asked him. I said, "Should I put that little 20-pound tire on?" He said it wouldn't last. It wouldn't last 2 miles out there. What he said.
It wouldn't have lasted.
It was so rough up in there, guys. The road was.
Yep. I don't think it would have lasted getting out of that immediate area.
Right. I don't think we
Because
probably been. He said you. He told me. He said you. All you're doing is leading yourself into more trouble. That's what he said. Told me. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. I've never seen a policeman scared before. That cop was scared.
He was.
He was scared.
No doubt about it.
That cop was. He was as scared as we were.
So when you went to Walmart, Mogs, and met them, and they fixed the tire, then what? You all went.
Oh, I fixed the tire.
You guys?
Yeah, we went back to the campground. Absolutely.
It was fine after that. After Russell fixed it, we had no more trouble out of it.
But yeah, we went back to the campground and continued our camping. I mean,
cool.
We went fishing and got down to the lake a few times, and
when we started back that road, the one when we turned on, we saw what we maybe drove a mile, and there was 3 Latino guys. That's the only campers we saw on the whole road.
Yeah, because we were. The idea was pulling into campgrounds that were set up. We could see from the road, but we couldn't tell if it was you all. I kept telling him, look for a blue truck, look for the pop-up. I said, he's got a yellow tent that he's setting up for Jay, just giving him ideas of what to look for. But there were some campgrounds that were set up. We just couldn't tell from the main road. So I would turn in. The last one I turned in, there was 3 Spanish guys, and they looked at us like, what the hell are you doing here? It was like, sorry, looking for our people. And they were like, they're not here. I was like, okay, we backed out. And that was probably part of the group that was on those, the side-by-side and ATV.
And they were looking in an area that they weren't even near the campground, like where we were.
Yep.
What's going on, Nikki?
Hey.
Hi, Nick.
Hi.
Hi, Nikki.
I just came to say hi to you guys. Glad that you're home and going to get some rest now. Now you need a vacation from your vacation.
That's what I said. Yep. Yeah, I was supposed to work today. I didn't quite make it.
Oh, man.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I've been in this chair with my feet propped up all day. My ankles swelled.
Your chair probably missed you, Jay.
It did. It hugged me as soon as I got in it.
Was there an impression of Mr. Lee in it?
There was a funny smell in it. That's all I know.
That's Mr. Lee.
That was Mr. Lee.
Oh, man.
There was a Speedo bikini line wore into the seat of the chair.
Yeah, but that's from Jay.
Yeah.
Funny. Oh.
Well, it started off kind of hairy, and we did okay. We did the best we could, all 3 of us, And
absolutely,
you
did.
Next year, you're gonna have to take 3 EPIRBs and pin them on your shoelaces before.
Next year, we're going to do Death Valley.
Next year, there's a sat phone involved.
Come out here and we'll go to the Badlands and
a sat phone and a shovel will be packed next year.
I'm gonna say
Canada. How are you, Leslie?
I'm gonna say one thing about what we experienced. This is all I'm gonna say. If I can get it out, hold on.
Oh, come on.
Oh, hold on a second, guys.
Take your time, Jay. You don't have to say anything.
No, you don't. Not at all.
I said, Lord, why are you doing this to me again? And I thought I said it under my breath, but Stevie heard me say it. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I told him I was glad that I was there with him because he didn't have to go through that alone. We were together, all three of us. We were together.
I know people are like chomping at the bit, but
I know.
you know, they while they were stuck, they did have some experiences, and those experiences were a little traumatizing. You know, Jay, if you want, I can mute you.
Yeah, well, would you for a
Let me
minute?
mute him for a minute. Sorry, I should have done it sooner. So you're not, they're telling you how they got stuck and how they got unstuck.
We're not talking about what happened while we were stuck.
Yeah.
We can't. Not
Even
yet.
after they
That's
were
one of the reasons why I was trying to skip past all that and say, so Mom,
Well-
when you went to Walmart, because
I know.
I know you tell yourselves, we're not ready to talk about it. And yet I also understand how easy it is to start talking about it and then be like, oh, I don't want to go any further. And yet everybody in chat's like, dude, keep going, keep going. It's almost better not to even start. You know what I mean?
We kind of moved past it, and then
Sorry.
yeah, it's we still got a lot to wrap our head around, and there may not be a time that we ever talk about it. It's just we have a lot of questions. We have a lot of questions ourselves. I mean, some of the stuff that you're wanting to know is so fantastic and unbelievable. It just sounds stupid coming out of my mouth. So I don't know that I could actually tell what happened. And that's all. Yeah, and that's why I am writing it down.
Well, everybody, it took me 25 years before I was ready to really sit down and tell somebody face to face what happened to me. And I tell myself, well, now that I've experienced that, and now that I've heard other encounters and been working in research and this and that if it happened, it wouldn't be so hard to talk about. I don't know that. It might be harder to talk about, to be honest with you. And Jay's probably a testimony to that. It may be that never in this lifetime, while he's alive, he's ready to talk about it. And people just need to respect that, I think rule of thumb, we just get in our minds that, dude, it's this heavy burden to carry around. It's so much easier to find people that you can talk to and relate to and get it off your chest and not carry that weight. But not every experience is like that. Especially if it's not one where, I just saw it from 150 yards away and I'm worried nobody's going to believe me. If it's something that was traumatic and it was an enduring, not a 2-minute ordeal, but a 2-hour ordeal, these are things that you might never feel comfortable talking about. And people just need to respect that.
I agree. And it shouldn't be too hard for people to understand that. I mean, it's just a little bit of respect,
Yeah.
All right, who do I have?
Yeah, everybody deals with things differently, and it just something happened, and that should be good enough for now. And I mean, I was there when they got off that car and came to me. The trauma was on their faces, and we knew all kinds of shit happened. I knew all kinds of shit happened, but I was just happy they were there and safe and that I didn't miss them. That was my whole thing. And that I was able to put my arms around each one of them. And, and each of them pulled me aside. well, not Judy, but Stevie and Jay, and I looked at me in my eyes 2 inches away and told me what happened fast, very fast. No questions. I didn't ask any questions. I just said, okay, and validated what they saw and or what happened. And because at that point, I didn't care. I just wanted them to be there and safe. And it was such a whirlwind that when they came into camp, it was just,
Well, we were pretty exhausted by the time we got into camp, and sleeping in Walmart parking lot wasn't exactly comfortable. I think we didn't sleep. We passed out.
The first thing I did was feed him.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
As much as I'd love to hear about it, I really feel like the most positive and the most respectful thing that you could do is just, when it comes to the public spotlight, is just to move away from it right now. Until you're ready to move back towards it. I know that sucks for everybody in chat who's hanging on.
But I don't know. Like, removing yourself from public view is necessarily the answer.
I don't mean yourself. I'm talking about talking about it. We can sit here for 20 more minutes and say, I can tell by the looks on their face and this and that. It's not helping the situation, to be honest with you.
No. But I know it's helping them talk a little bit about, what they went through as far as just being stuck and getting some of that out. I know that's helping.
I think the important thing is that I think Stevie, Judy, and Jay all know that they have friends in this community. And if they aren't ready to talk to everybody, maybe there's somebody that they want to talk to. Maybe there's,
I'm right here.
It's not all or nothing. You know what I mean? There are people that you can talk to without it being on YouTube.
How are you, Pearls?
I'm hanging in there, Moms. Hello to you all. Stevie, big shout out. Check your FB Messenger for a recent request from a name you don't recognize. That's me trying to get back in touch with you, lady.
I will look. I've had so many problems with my phone, and this is no lie. This was started 2 days before I took this journey. And my phone has just been doing its own thing. I know Moggs had mentioned about, I was getting encrypted messages as soon as I come off that mountain.
Okay.
Something's going on with my phone. I've lost pictures. I've lost contacts. It's just.
All right, and it's possibility it's solar flares. The internet's been real glitchy too, but we already know that, the cover-ups of, when you discover something, things happen to just disappear and quirky things happen. Just watch your back, is all you can do. But I've really lost touch with a lot of people, and I'm really trying to get back in touch with you, sweetie. And
I'll look for
I was reading, I watched last night's show, Moggs, and from what I can understand, I'm coming in the middle of the story, and from what I can understand, when law enforcement is scared, were they scared from a gunshot heard in the distance, Stevie, or was it from what y'all saw?
Both. Yeah.
And from what I can gather, it's obviously hard to process, and you may or may not be ready to talk about it yet. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's still some things that we got to figure out. Well, me personally, I can't speak for Jay or Judy, but I'm sure they'll probably agree that there's some stuff we still haven't been able to wrap our heads around. We all experienced same stuff, and then there was a time where we were separated, so it's a lot. It's a lot. You're talking 12 hours of being out there. 8 hours.
Time lost, any time warp go on?
I don't know.
Still trying to process that, eh?
Yep.
So, Jay, I had mentioned to Stevie earlier, Stevie's got a composition book. She's going to try to write down I think you should do. I think you should do the same thing if you're up for it. You know, right?
I am. Yeah.
Awesome. It'll help you. You know, I think
Mhm.
putting it down and getting it out, and whether you want to share it, you want to compare notes with Stevie or Judy. I mean, I just think getting it down on paper will help out a lot too. So.
And Stevie and Jay, are y'all home now? And is
Oh
Judy
yeah,
home now?
everybody's home
Absolutely.
safe. Yes,
Good.
I got in last night about 10 o'clock. Slept in until about 11:30 this morning.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Moggs, where were you in last night's show? Where were y'all all at in Tuesday's show?
At his house.
At your house? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, I'm at
Ben,
my sister's house where I have the studio set up. So when we did the shows last week, we did them from the house there, and just because we got back Tuesday and everybody was whooped. I mean, whooped.
well, and in the last show, I noticed that Brian Chewy, when he was talking about color blindness, I really didn't know how it felt for a person to be colorblind. And for him to say he got the new glasses to put on and he was able to see colors, I was amazed. I really did not know that people that were colorblind saw people's lips and they didn't recognize the color pink. So when he was talking about it,
that was his instance, his
yeah.
whatever.
And so when he was talking about his Sasquatch experience and something raking its hand across their tent, my mind kind of wondered, if he sees one, what color would it be? I know nothing about being colorblind, about a person being colorblind. So Moggs, that was just a great guess because it taught me something. I really didn't know what people experienced when they were as being colorblind.
There's so many YouTube videos out there of colorblind people trying on those glasses for the first time. It is amazing.
It is. You can't help but
people like their kids will have bouquets of all different colors of balloons in the backyard, and they'll put these glasses on and they'll sit there and point and say, "Is that red?" And the kid's like, "No, that's purple. This is red." And
the whole world opened up for him,
they're staring at the trees because green has never looked that green before. It looked gray before,
Except with Brian. Brian, he saw greens crisply. It was the reds that he had problems with. He couldn't see.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, like he said, he saw a red rose for the first, time of really seeing what a red rose looked like. And I thought, wow, okay. And, back to the subject, Stevie, Jay, and Judy, if you're listening, I'm out here. I'm available to talk to. Stevie, I can't give you my real name. Maybe you'll remember it, but check out your Facebook Messenger.
I remember.
You've got a request. I've been really trying to get back in touch with you, sweetie. I missed a lot of people. My Chromebook was hacked. I had no virus protection. So, yeah, stranger things have happened, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll look for you, hon. I just haven't really been talking to a lot of people. My phone's been messed up, and I just got home last night, and today I just kind of sat around and did a lot of nothing. Really.
With that, last time I was talking with you, you were having some activity out in the area
I was hearing all that stuff out here. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever came of that?
Oh, there's a matter of fact, I since I was over there with Muggs, I brought home his recorder. I said I want to start recording some stuff out
An
here.
audio recorder.
Yeah.
Well, one night, I was talking with Stevie, and just the vibe scared me. Okay, as to what was happening in a lawn chair. I mean, they're moving things, in her area. They're coming really close to where she lives and moving things in her area. That I guess what I'm doing, Stevie, is giving a big shout out for your bravery and your courageousness and dealing with that so close to home. A lot of us deal with activity close to our homes.
Well, my first experience was being screamed at work, and that's just 3 miles up the road there. And I think I mentioned not maybe a month or so ago that I stumbled across the BFRO incident report that they, I guess, investigated and found credible. They deemed credible, and that was probably less than a mile from where I got screamed at. My first experience. So
Oh, and
definitely
then
stuff out there.
and then afterwards they deem it as credible.
Yeah, they send investigators in and check out the story, the person's claim, and they if they don't find it credible, they don't post it. Apparently, and this one was posted just less than a mile from the trail entrance. That's about 100 yards from my office door. Yeah.
Well, at one time, I think a long time ago, I typed in my encounter to them. A very, very long time ago. I never heard a word back from them, though.
Well, to me, that's why I don't really look at their website. I don't know what made me stumble across that particular incident, but I saw the location and I was like, oh, because that's like right here. It's basically the same area of my current address. So that I saw that and just read, but I don't like it that if people send in an experience, they're selective, they don't check out everybody's, and I'm sure they don't have enough people to, I can only imagine the volume of stories or incidents that are sent into them, but the fact that
we can be nice and give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they're so selective, that's what I don't like about that organization.
And well, there you have it.
Hey, Jay, are you still there?
He's muted.
Well, and who is to my right or left? I get so messed up when on cam. I don't know my right from my left.
Hey,
Right,
Joe.
Joe on one side and Jay on the other.
Yeah.
I have been sandwiched.
Like an Oreo.
Thank me later.
So is this coming? Is this my audio okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Well, I just was popping on real quick to just see how this camera worked on this one. And again, I don't know. There he is, chessboard.
Still ugly.
Yeah, I know. But the camera doesn't help. But it does. I kind of look a little handsome here going on. But again, chessboard, I see you in the chat, man. I know I keep saying thank you, but I can't say thank you enough for sending me. Chessboard donated this brand new freaking laptop to me. And so, because I really needed a new one, because the other one was like getting ready to really crap the bed. And so he sent me a new one. Now it's online. I got frustrated. I called support. Anthony fixed me up real quick. Now the only problem I have is apparently I have to start using headphones. I can't get the mic set up for some reason. And I've gone through every setting that I have, and I can't figure it out because this has a Realtek microphone built into it, but for some reason I can't get it to turn on. But as soon as I plug these in, of course, it recognizes this. So I'll have to work with that for a while.
When you go to your StreamYard settings down there and click on settings and then click on audio or microphone, when you unplug your headset at that point, what does it register as being the microphone? You know what I mean?
Oh, it'll tell me that the mic is a Realtek audio is what it is.
Yeah, it's the built-in microphone on the.
But does it change? So when you put the headset in, does that switch in?
Yeah, it switches to the headset.
Okay.
So I guess I mean I don't mind wearing a headset.
It sounds good. Right
That's
now.
good. Well, this is supposed to be this thing. It's a Gateway computer, and my wife was like, I didn't even know Gateway was still in business. And it's a nice computer. It's got all kinds of bells and whistles I haven't even gone into yet. But
it's like, what is that thing called? Oh, tuned by THX, so the audio should be really good on it and all that. So yeah,
All right
so,
on.
but yeah, I was frustrated, and man, I was like, I just want to go live with the bears. Fuck all this shit.
Oh, way to go, chessboard.
Well,
but
Jay, I wanted to tell you before you popped off, man. You look like your turkey's done. I mean, literally. You need to drink about a half a gallon of water and sleep for about 12 hours straight. And I ain't saying that as a knock towards you. I'm concerned because before you had popped off, just watching your facial expressions, man, I can tell you got nothing left to give right now.
Well, we had already discussed that if there's a next time, we're flying.
Well, regardless
hell
of
with all
next
that
time, I'm
driving.
talking about right now. I mean, Jay,
Yeah.
Jay needs to hydrate and he needs to sleep because he looks like he's.
Well, Stevie
I'm
had
spent.
Stevie had a gotten in touch with you a lot sooner. I'd have told you to stop off here at my house and given you a break on the way there.
Oh,
That's a long haul.
Yeah,
we
they didn't
wanted
even
to-
go that way.
Yeah, we didn't because we had to go up to Arkansas we went up to Arkansas to get Judy. So we didn't hit 10 at any point. I think we crossed over coming back just because we came through Atlanta. I saw a sign for 10, but yeah, we weren't even.
Yeah,
we weren't even out that way.
that's a much more northern route, no doubt.
Yeah.
We drove what?
Beautiful ride though.
We drove 4,500 and some odd miles.
I was going to ask you what it ended up being.
4567, I think.
I was disappointed that I didn't look because when you went in yesterday and I cleaned up the car, I dumped all our personal information off the system of the car, the GPS and all that. Did you notice I found the owner's manual? After the trip was over. No, I swear. After I cleaned out everything in the back, I took everything out. There was a little like hatch that I thought it was going to be just like the crowbar or something. I popped it up and there was the owner's manual that's like that thick. I mean, it was in a folder binder. I put it in the glove box because I wanted you to see it. But
That's
yeah,
what
I was like, are you kidding me?
That's what I was complaining about. If we'd had the owner's manual, we could have kept our air pressure thing on, and we'd known our tire was going down. See?
Yep. We would have been able to check it right there.
He wouldn't bump his ass.
Yeah.
So,
well, hey guys, thanks. I'm gonna pop off now. Thanks. I just wanted to test this.
When's your next show, Joe?
It'll be Friday, I think. I'm not going to promise anything.
Check out your new setup and see how you're looking.
So Joe, you finally got that 9-year-old to help you set it up, huh?
No, actually, it was actually Gateway Support.
Yeah,
nice fine fella by the name of Anthony. Just like as soon as I told him I'm stuck on this screen for the pin, he's like, yeah, and boom, he had it fixed like that. Man, he told me, no, this is what you got to do. Go unplug your router for a few minutes. Go through the setup. Don't worry, and boom, and here I am. So
good for you, buddy.
But
Mr.
and
Lee,
it's great, man.
About the narcissist. Am I a narcissist?
We all are sometimes, Moggs.
Just checking.
No, I don't think you are. I think you're. That's what I was going to say before I sign off. Moggs, you're still cool. Jeff, stop flirting with the lady so much.
Dude, it was Stevie you. B. I almost had to filter. I was going to time you out last night.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Stevie B, I love you. Jay, bite my patootie. And Charles, love you. Good to see you again. You guys take it easy. I'll see you the next time around.
Take it easy, Joe.
Bye.
Patootie, huh?
Yeah, Joe was getting a little lovesick in my chat last night. My guess, she was talking about how she has a Jeep and loves to camp, and
it wasn't just Joe; it was everybody.
And Joe said, "I swear to God, if she says she loves to fish, I'm done." And her friend was in the chat saying, "Yeah, she loves fishing."
Donald says, Mogs, what is the minimal equipment for doing live streams? You could use your phone, dude. You got a smartphone, you can use your phone, but I use a laptop, an external camera, and an external microphone. That's
Donald,
it. And a light sauce. It's simple.
Donald, I saw last Tuesday's show where you said you only had 2 bars on your 4G cell phone, and right now all I have is 2 bars on my 4G cell phone, and I'm here. So give it a try, Donald, because you had some interesting stuff to share on last Tuesday's show. I read chat, and so give it a try, sweetie.
You don't have as much control when you're doing it with your phone. You can, but it's a pain.
That's true, Moggs. I'm sitting here on my phone tonight. That's very true.
Me too.
Yeah, if I have guests on my show, if they have like last night's guest was on her cell phone. But boy, I'll tell you what, if you have a headset with a cell phone, it doesn't work too bad at all. If you don't have a headset, it gets to be an issue usually with the echoes and the squelch and all.
I never use a headset. I use my phone every time I come on.
Yeah.
The world of the haves and have-nots.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nobody here is wearing a headset.
Right.
Well, like Pearl's microphone that she's using, I can hear. I mean, it's hissing.
I hear an echo from something.
Yeah.
It's a little.
I have echo cancellation on my settings, so I don't know where that's coming from.
Y'all might hear the frogs from out here.
It's not
or-
from the chat.
it's
No.
not-
We
I
hear
know
those
it's
frogs.
on Pearl's.
It's the frogs.
Well, yeah, I was on the porch earlier, and yes, I've got lots of crickets and frogs you can hear on my porch. I'm way down south, Jeff.
I know what crickets are from. This was squelch and feedback that I was hearing. It's not a big deal, and I don't really notice it now, but it was there when you first got on. But that's usually the case when you're on a cell phone without a headset. I mean, you can't really control the microphone feed volume and things
Well,
like
we
that.
can't control solar weather interfering with our internet either,
Yeah.
No, and I read something that tomorrow night is supposed to be a solar storm. Something. Tomorrow
Right,
night is
there's
supposed to
been
be
some activity. Yeah, sure enough, Stevie.
I've been talking to clients all day today that are telling me their internet is absolutely slower than shit. And I mean all over.
Mhm.
And it makes you wonder, with all these people who, we look at the amount of people versus like a year or 2 years or 3 years ago that aren't working right now, aren't able to pay for childcare and all this with the way that the economy is. So they're home, right? And it makes you wonder how much bandwidth, and does that really have an effect? You'd think it would. I mean,
Well, when everybody was home during the COVID shutdown, everybody hit the internet. I mean,
yeah,
it did slow down,
Well, and with all that's going on in the world, there's censorship. Don't know if you read the news today, some of the news, but the things going on in China and Taiwan, and there's some sites, that are just being taken down. There's some world issues that are, and then there's the censorship issue on YT and whatnot. It's not to get into politics, but yeah. There's a lot of factors involved, possibly. But I want to get back to the story because I could really tell by last Tuesday's chat as Stevie was chatting and by what Jay was saying. And I could really tell, Stevie, in the chat that whatever y'all encountered, that wasn't like what you encountered in Florida at all, is it, Stevie?
Pearls, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to talk about it. I've said it. Don't keep trying to drag me into it because I'm not talking about it. I'm not ready to. I've said it earlier in the show. We've moved on past it. Please don't. Don't try to drag it out of me.
I'll respect that. I just noticed there was a level of big difference of what you encountered in Florida and what you encountered out at the
You're
canyon.
still going on. I'm gonna go because I'm really
No,
getting
that
upset
was
with you
my
right
only
now.
point. I quit. That was my only
Well,
point, dear.
you're not quitting. That's the thing. And I've asked you
All right.
nicely, respectfully.
Stevie, Becky is really impressed with you. She thought you was such a
I like
wonderful
her.
woman. She's a
I
great
like her a
gal.
lot.
She's a great gal, ain't she?
She is. She really is. We sat and talked for a good hour after you crashed out.
Uh-huh.
And her
I feel,
daughter's sweet too. She's
yeah,
really sweet. She come
I
out
feel,
twice and asked me to help if she could
yeah.
help me.
I feel
So
so bad about that, hon. I'm not that kind of
no,
guy.
God,
You know.
no. I was glad. You needed it. You really needed it. And I was glad you went in and got rest because I was worried about you a little bit, you know?
The old man came out in me. There was nothing I could do about it.
I told you, it got me in the Publix parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop. It finally all caught up, and yeah, I had to take a nap before I could drive.
Mogs, they said, I heard you cooked them breakfast and took really great care of them.
I tried.
He did. He did.
I'm gonna tell you, people. That man to my left, or he's to my left, up there. That's the
Other way.
That way. That
Yeah,
way,
there you go.
That way. That's the finest, kindest man I ever been around in my life.
Well, thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. You were pointing over
a little
there.
more left.
Okay, I'm sorry.
A little more the other way.
Jay.
My bad.
Thank you.
My bad.
Thank you. I'm just glad that you guys could come out and everything turned out for the best. I think you had an amazing time, despite any, maybe you didn't, but.
Oh, I did. I know I did. Everything, even when we were up there, everything worked out the way it was supposed to and did. And it was definitely an amazing trip.
Come to Arizona, they said. Make memories, they said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
We had a great time. After all that was over, we had a
great video
time.
You guys at the
I got a
Grand
nice
Canyon
tan, you know.
The video at the Grand Canyon and stuff is just that little snapshot that everybody got to see. It's just a testimony to how much fun you guys had together. So,
that was just
when Moggs made a statement in the last show of when people encounter the canyon for the first time, the look of awe on their faces. He said something in reverence to that. And I thought to myself, well, I've not ever been able to see the canyon with my own eyes. I've been clear to Phoenix, but I've never been to the canyon. I've been to the White Mountains and the White River, but I had never seen the canyon. I got that far, and it was to visit people and came back, yeah, for Moggs to make that statement, when he said, when you were talking, your facial expression, really body language really told all as to how, awestruck people are when they see the canyon for the first time, that it's just an awesome thing.
It's not just a canyon. When we came off that rim, Judy kept saying, "Jay, look over here, Jay." I said, "Judy, I can't. I'm looking down 1,000-foot cliff over here. I can't be looking everything you see over there." I mean, it was 6 feet. I'm looking 1,000 feet straight down.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd have needed Dramamine.
Well, you do get that. You lose, like Stevie lost her balance there for a second just because she was looking one way. She stood up and turned, and the vastness was right there. So it kind of like throws you off. Like
I got dizzy and just like I stepped back and stumbled a second, and it took my breath. And it's almost like you're not expecting it unless you are. But I was talking to Judy 1 second, and I just turned to the right, and it just that glance of the vastness of it just threw me off big time. I was like, whoa, I think I felt more dizzy in that second, in that moment, than when we took the blindfold off. That took my breath away. I was just in awe.
And Sedona with the Red Mountains. And also you took us up, there was another gorge you took. I can't remember the name of that one, Russell. What was that?
Oh, Tizagoot?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, you you ought to
Tizagoot's a
see.
national monument. It's a Sanawa Indian ruin. Um, we drove through that. We didn't do the hike because it's kind of strenuous. So, I drove them by it. We could see it. It was right there. But Montezuma's Castle was good because it was level walking surface. So
Yeah,
everybody could.
Plus, I got a lifetime national parks
yeah.
pass. Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool.
Wish we had
That's
known that before I
awesome.
paid for the Grand Canyon.
Well, I mean, I didn't know. I wasn't expecting it. She's like, the
No, that
lady's
was
like,
cool that you got it
she's
though.
trying to be respectful to, my prosthetics. And she's like, here, I need you to read this one little paragraph and tell me that if anything applies to you. And the first thing I see was something about disabilities. And I looked up at her and I stepped back and I was like, well, and she was like, I know, I was just trying not to be rude. I'm like, hell, be rude. It's a lifetime pass.
Yeah.
That was cool. So. First, she was telling me that, she asked, did I have any seniors in the group? And I was like, Jay, come here.
But it's true.
You get a pass.
He came
you
out
get
and
a
goes, Jay,
pass.
come with me.
Well,
I stepped
was-
right up.
that was part of it too. Just every little bit of it, everything was good. Everything worked out the way it should have, Everything did. We had such a great time. Seeing so many things. It's just, I know poor Judy's still trying to, flashes of everything's probably going through her head of, oh my God.
And we got over around Arkansas, and Judy lives in such a pretty place.
Oh my God! Don't listen to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was texting Mopes and I was asking him. I was like, "You ever think about Arkansas?" I mean, it's just so freaking green everywhere. I mean, I live in Florida, so you'd think that wouldn't even faze me, but it's such a dark, deeper green there, and it's. I mean, for miles, everything is. I can't understand or wrap my head around how cities are so jam packed with people, and there's so much earth out there. That's just wide open and vast and nobody out there.
I was always really amazed at Arkansas's different terrains in different areas of the same state. I mean, you've got the swamps that look like southern Georgia in some areas, where the big duck hunting areas and the swamps. And then you've got the forested hill country and stuff. I mean, it's just like, you can drive 100 miles and it feels like you're in two different parts of the world.
That forest in Arkansas.
You got diamonds in Arkansas.
That forest in Arkansas is so thick. It's just, it's so dense. You can barely see in it. We're driving. I'm in the back seat and I'm trying to find spots, looking for spots as we're going by that you could even walk into. And it's rare to find an opening that you'd be able to go. I mean, I know it's not all like that, but just what I saw, it's like, holy crap. It's so just vast. Everything is.
Judy lives real close to the Ozarks, too. She don't live far from the Ozarks.
Hey, Steve,
I look at a sign and it said 16 miles to Missouri. I'm like, wait, what?
what track we put?
Yeah, y'all were in the Ozarks and the Ouachitas. The Ouachita Mountains are near Hot Springs, Arkansas, and Moggs was mentioning diamonds. And, the Middle Earth Museum is near Hot Springs, and you can go mine for your own diamonds near Hot Springs, Arkansas. And, yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff in Arkansas and in the Ozarks, too. But I'm going to bid. I don't want to wear my welcome out. I just popped in to say hello. Love to y'all. Love to everybody in chat. And just good to see you. And just wanted to touch base with y'all. And love you all.
Offering help.
Thank you. And I'll get in touch with you.
All right, sweetie. And good night, all. Love you all.
Good to see you.
Bro. Good night. It was nice to see her.
Yeah. Been a while.
Seeing all kinds of people popping through chat, haven't seen in a while.
I haven't shaved in 14 days. 14 days. I'm gonna grow it, just see what happens.
Might as well.
Yeah.
You look like Santa Claus. That's what would happen to me if I grew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Take 14 years, but I see Iron Dogger in here. Right on.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey.
See ya.
So that "Paint Me a Birmingham" song, I was singing that. That's the only line of the song I know. But as I was heading to Birmingham, down the 22, I was trying to get Muggs to sing it. Yeah, it didn't work.
No. I was like, what?
That 22 interstate's a good interstate, isn't it, Stevie?
Man, coming home, it was just all downhill. It was a great drive. That truck, I swear, you got to be careful because Jay was like, I looked up at one point, you were doing 99.
Yeah, 99 miles an hour. She backed it off to 93.
Yeah, he said you slowed down. He said you slowed down to 93. I was like, oh God. No, it's not hard to do. Not in that truck. You take off and
No, that and it had pickup. That thing was
that thing had balls for sure.
I got it up to 100 almost.
Yeah, I know. I pulled a little stunt on them on one of the roads, and they were not impressed.
No, I yelled at you. I'm like,
yeah, you did.
What are you doing?
they weren't impressed with my driving skills at the time.
I was awoken by being jolted damn near to the floor in the back seat.
Chessboard says Jay Fritz, all that gray made my LCD go bonkers and lost my color and on that side of the screen. Wow, it just got hot in here. Like I just got flushed.
And the weather that was weird. The weather couldn't have been no nicer for us too.
Oh my God.
Oh, the weather was perfect.
Yeah, you guys got lucky. Even when we were here in Cottonwood, the day after you left, it got hot. I mean, you felt a little bit, but
yeah, no, it was a different heat though, and that's where I got the sunburn, was probably standing on your deck. But it was such a different heat. There's no humidity. It was good. But I had to mention, I drove last night. Pretty much after we dropped off Judy, I drove a lot. I drove until this morning. Yesterday morning until I got 29 miles before the Florida-Georgia borderline on 75. There is a gas station that is called wait, you got to help me out, Jay. I can't remember. Bigfoot truck stop or something like that. I kept seeing, Jay was asleep and I kept seeing signs and I was watching the gas and I timed it to where I'm like, we're going to stop there. We got to stop there. I mean, they've got huge Bigfoot pictures on the billboards saying, Bigfoot truck stop. So we went and I was a little disappointed. I thought it would be more, extensive. There was a few Bigfoot items for sale. There was this giant, 10-foot plastic looking Bigfoot as soon as you walked in the door, but it was kind of cheesy. And there's another one on the outside that kind of, I guess, was supposed to look scary and it had its arms outstretched. And, I took pictures of it, but yeah.
I can see Stevie walking inside right now saying, saw the sign out front. I thought it'd be a little more Bigfooty than in here than this, but
had good ice cream.
Yeah, 1 second I hear him saying, I'm going to go get an ice cream. The next second I turn back and there's a worker there that's actually chiseling out he's defrosting the big, freezer of ice cream. So I just assumed that he missed his opportunity to get some. He was like, oh no, I grabbed one and ate it already. I was like, well, damn. Night breeze.
Robert says, question, any great views of the planets, stars, or galaxies at the camp out? Jealous of no light pollution in the boonies? No, we probably got better views on my back deck. It rained. Canopy. So
and plus it rained. The 2 nights we were there, it rained.
We're going to have the Northern Lights lighting up here in the next 7 to 10 days. So I'm hoping to get out and get a bunch of
that's what I was reading about that solar flare tomorrow. They said that it actually it enhances it almost imitates the northern lights, and that at certain phases, if it gets to be strong enough, it is powerful enough to take out satellites. But what I remember reading most is that it enhances the northern lights and allows people to see it even further than normal. So
I got a lightning. I got a lightning streak down my back now, where that lightning hit behind us. You never seen 3 old people move so fast.
Oh, y'all didn't even talk about that. You didn't even talk about that.
Older,
did you?
one not quite as old as the rest of them.
We had just walked out on the back deck at the house, and we kind of fanned out. So it was like Jay, Judy, and myself, and we're standing outside the door, and this lightning, you heard the crackle, like you heard that static, and it was an immediate boom right on top of us. And it was just about face and shove each other in. Like Jay's trying to pull Judy, Judy's trying to push through, I'm trying to push Judy.
And I was in the laundry room. I was down in the laundry room, and all I know is the power I heard a boom and complete dark. I mean, I just stood there for a second like, oh shit, I can't see nothing. I wasn't trying to move. I reached my hand out. Oh, look at that.
First time. Look at that.
Hey.
Wow.
Right, now let's see how long it takes the moderator to get rid of it.
I've been getting those in my
I'm on my phone.
comments a lot.
Get it, Lee.
Let me see. Block user.
Keep it up, or I want to find the link.
See, the problem is you can't remove the advertisement is in the title. It's not in the message anymore. So it's like you can't.
Yeah, I can't get it because I'm on my phone.
You got it wrote down yet, Jay? Can we take it
Lee
down?
says sex spot. Yippee.
Screenshot
it. I clicked on the link.
I can tell you right now, you're too damn tired right now to be worrying about the link like that.
That's funny.
That's probably my first bot.
I've been getting on my last 2 shows. As soon as I'm done broadcasting, within the first hour, like the second or third comment that ends up has been one of those. And I probably did 20 shows in a row, never got them in comments. All of a sudden lately they're showing up. But
Donald says, wait a minute, I need some love chat. Scroll back.
Okay, guys, the old man's backing out. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Jay, it was good to see you.
all right.
Good to see you, Jay.
Thanks.
Okay, sweetie. See y'all.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
Bye.
Just kick me out. It's easy.
You're right. It is.
I hope he gets some sleep tonight, man.
Well, he slept.
He slept. Hey, I'm telling you, when
however long he slept, it wasn't enough. Man,
so I drove to Jay's and I parked my truck there, and we loaded up the rental and left from his house. When I got back yesterday, I mean, I gotten out of the car. He had gathered a couple of his essentials and took off inside. I walked in with him because I had to go get the keys. So I left the keys in my truck there just in case they had to move it or something. So I went in to get my keys. I went to the left to go grab my keys. He went to the right to go, I guess, to his room, and I never saw him again after that. Seeing him here on the show is the first time I've seen him since. He slept the whole time. I guarantee you, by the time I went back out to go empty out the rental of my things, he was probably already knocked out at that point. Said he didn't wake up until after 6.
He looks dehydrated is what he looks like. He looks like he needs to drink about a gallon of water.
Pearls, I can't hide them. I can remove messages, but I can't hide the name of the person or the bot or whatever you want to call it. I can't do anything about that.
And they know that. That's why they put all that in the title.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we're gonna call this a night. It's been a long one.
You'll have to pop over and watch the special announcement I put on my channel tonight.
I did see that. Whose umbrella is that?
Doug Hychek's umbrella with the Untold Radio Network. Okay. I will not be broadcasting the Pine Island Research Show on my channel anymore we will for the next 2 weeks, I think, but We are going to be migrating the show to the Untold Radio Network. And I will still be on Monday nights the same time, doing the same type of format. But I will be one of 7 shows over 7 nights. So there's going to be a different show every night from 7 different channels, all joining one umbrella. So it'll be interesting. I think
a lot of people are
three
doing
of
that.
them are 3 of them are Bigfoot type shows, but there's a few that aren't, that are more of the paranormal type show. Well, Doug's show has always been kind of a little bit of everything, But
Good night, Pop Craig. Good to see you.
so I've been trying to migrate my subscribers, my 500 hatchlings that follow the channel, and try to ahead of time get them to go over there and like the Untold Radio's YouTube channel, because I don't want them in 2 weeks to turn on YouTube and say, well, nobody's here, and then not know where it's at. So
sure,
trying to herd the cats that direction ahead of time.
Well, I'm going to say goodnight first. Thank you, guys.
Good night, Stevie.
Nice talking to you. Good to see everybody in chat. And thanks, everybody.
Said, put your hands together for Mogan Monster.
Good night, Judy.
Stevie, thanks for coming on, hon.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you in a little bit.
I'll take off too. We'll see you later, Mugs.
All right, Jeff.
You take care, Stevie.
You too, Jeff. Good to see you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Stevie. Oh, guys, another one in the books. Thanks, for understanding and not pestering, the 3 of them. It'll all come out, hopefully, Thank you, everybody that came on. Pearl, it was good to see you. And we'll be doing this again in 2 days. Hopefully everybody will join us. We had a good crowd tonight. Thank you for that. If you like the video, like the show, please hit that like button below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and share it. And if you want to donate to the channel, you can do so in the PayPal link. I will post it in the description below. Everything is appreciated. Kind of broke after this trip. But it was worth it. Hey, Belle. I didn't see you. Good to see you. You should say hi earlier. All right, guys. I will see you in 2 days. I'm sure I'll see a bunch of you before then. Probably tomorrow. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. Peace and God bless.